Today is Sunday, March 7th, 2021. I would normally be at church right now, but my wife wasn't feeling well, and so just to be on the safe side, we stayed home. And we were getting ready to watch the streamed service from our church live in just a moment. However, my phone rang, and I actually got a call from my doctor on a Sunday. And he said, "How are you?" And I said, "I'm waiting to hear from you how I am." So let me get to the punchline. This is a good news and a bad news situation. Let me start with the good news. As the PET scan has shown, there is no cancer in my liver, lungs, stomach, in any external part outside of where that nodule was discovered. The bad news is that I have been diagnosed with stage 3 esophageal cancer. So the nodule is cancerous, the cancer is there, and it has spread in a contained area. So it's somewhat contained. It is somewhat, according to the doctor, somewhat small in my esophagus. But it is stage 3 cancer. And I have to be very honest with you. I can't help but be disappointed because I wanted so badly for this to be over. But even when he told me the news, my heart didn't sink. I was disappointed, but I wasn't overcome by fear. It's just a bit of frustration because now I see that this isn't going to end anytime soon. And there's more to come. And there's more to come. Yeah. Stage 3 esophageal cancer is not a good diagnosis, no matter how you look at it. The next step is that they're going to try to get me to see an oncologist tomorrow, and I need to see a thoracic surgeon very soon and talk about operating on my throat. I'm going to listen to what the doctors have to say. And I want to see what it is that they're proposing. I'm not opposed to medicine because God has blessed us with medicine. You know, all good things come from the Father of lights, with whom there is no variableness, neither shadow of turning. And I believe that God has given us medicine for a divine purpose. But it's got to be something reasonable. Again, I said in the very beginning, I'm not willing to go through chemo, radiation, have them cut out my throat, and then to squeeze out 1 year or two. I won't do that. I won't put my wife through that, and I won't put myself through that. But if what they propose is reasonable and there's an expectation that this might be permanently gone, then I will listen and I will make a decision based on that. So this is the newest news. My faith is still in God. That won't change. And God is still good all the time. One thing I'll say is a detail that I may not have added. I don't remember if I did or if I did not add this in one of my earlier video logs. When God healed me of stage 4 cancer as a young man, He did so over the period of 1 year. And I've looked back on that, and I've said to others about that time, I've said, God is God. If he wanted to, he could have healed me in an instant, just like he raised Lazarus from the dead by saying, Lazarus, come forth, and instantaneously he came forth. I don't doubt that. So then why did it take him a year to heal me? Well, I was a foolish young man. I had a lot of growing up to do. And it actually ended up being very beneficial to me to go through a year of suffering, because it matured me in a way in my faith and in my person in general that would not have happened had God just spoken the word and instantaneously I'd been healed. It was still a miracle. And the doctor still said what happened to me was impossible. It just took time. And if I am going to see a miracle at the end of this all, it appears to me now that there's still some growing up that I have to do. There's still some refining that needs to take place in my life. And I don't doubt that. I've never thought in any way that I've arrived. But again, makes me wonder what God has in store for me. That this is what will be happening. And so, for those of you that have been on this journey with me, I was so hoping to post that the journey has come to an end. But this story takes a turn. And it looks like the story continues. And while the future has already been written from God's perspective, and he knows the start and end date of all of our time, for me, now begins this whirlwind. A lot of things to be solved right now. I've got to be responsible and balance that responsibility with being a person of faith. I am still going to fight. I'm still going to believe and hope that God will turn this around. But now I also have to consider my wife, and a lot of my time is going to be spent making videos of teaching her some of the things that I have done in the house and some of the things that I take care of that she may not be familiar with, so that if God doesn't keep me around, then it will make the transition for her a little easier. I have time regardless. And if I've learned anything in all of this, it's the reminder that time is short. As the Bible says, life is but a vapor, gone in an instant. And so it's a matter of seizing every moment, making the most out of it. So the question is then, how shall I seize life? What is it that I'll do to maximize whatever time I have, short or long, and make it glorious to God?